so.
And we discuss books in class.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
English class in America is not actually about learning the English language. So when kids here ask me to help them with their English homework, it ends very badly because they're asking me all sorts of strange questions I can't answer. They're like, Piper, what's a past perfective participle? I'm like, what is this? I've never heard of this in my life. Because in English class, what we learn about is like, this is where you put a comma. And then we just read books and we talk about the books and how they're different from other books.
Yeah, we have literature for this
Exactly.
kind of.
And my English class is also, we had philosophy, and so it's not really English. It's just whatever your teacher wants to teach you in this class. Yeah.
So in Russian we have grammar classes, Russian grammar classes.
Yeah.
So you don't have English grammar classes, do you?
It's also mixed in with the English
English.
class. Yeah, it's in elementary school, so in grades 1 through 5 normally, you learn how to write and how to read, of course, and you learn how to write correctly, how to use quotation marks and commas and periods and exclamation, all the fancy writing tools. And you also learn the difference, because in English we have the really annoying thing where there's there, and there. And so that's always really hard, is you learn like there, as in it's theirs, and there, it's over there. And it's really confusing. And we also, if you're an advanced student, you learn this thing called Caesar's English, which is where they teach you the roots and stems of words. So Caesar's English is actually a really fun book, where it's like a workbook, and you learn the roots and stems. So take the word submarine. You learn the Latin and Greek roots and stems, and you learn the word sub, which means under, and marine, which is like the sea or water.
To do with
Exactly. And so then you
Holiday.
realize, oh my gosh,
Holiday.
submarine means underwater. Oh my gosh. And so they just try to help you understand the English language more, I guess. But it's not too much actual grammar, because unlike Russian, we don't have verb conjugations, so we don't change verbs if it's a man or a woman or an it. Yeah. So it's not something that we think about, which is why Russian has been so hard to learn, because now I have to think about if a chair is a man or a woman. Yeah.
It's a tricky thing.
It is. Well, and especially because in Russian you can refer to things as he or she. So you can be talking about a chair. Be like, у меня есть стол, и он большой. It's okay. And so it's strange, because in English you couldn't be, I have a chair and he's big. Because you can't, because he makes it human.
Not used to it. It
Yeah.
takes time.
Yeah. I'm getting used to it now, but it was so strange at first. I was like, who are you talking about? You just talked about your chair, now you're talking about some man, and I don't understand. Yeah, so in English there's not too much grammar to worry about, so it's more about widening your vocabulary. We normally have to keep like a dictionary of sorts where we write down new English words, but it's not like here where you're learning endings to things and no.
And in what grade can you choose subjects?
In what grade can you choose subjects? Okay, I think it might depend a bit on what type of school you go to, because like here we have lots of different types of schools. I went to a preschool for a short amount of time where I got to choose my classes as a 6-year-old. And so I got to choose if I wanted to have science or art or, but normally if you're in a normal school, I think you get to start choosing classes in the 6th grade. You don't get to choose all of your classes though. You just get to choose your electives. So classes like art or gym maybe, or yeah. And then once you're in high
There are
school,
core subjects.
yeah, the core subjects that you don't get to choose.
Vidareutbildningsnivå, not the core.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then in high school, you get to choose everything. And there is a certain amount of classes that you have to take over the course of high school, but you can kind of pick and choose what year you take what classes. So,
Do the teachers recommend you which
yeah,
classes to take?
they do really help, and it even says sometimes on the paper that you fill out, like, this class is recommended for seniors or for juniors. And so, yeah, but high school, you get to choose all of your classes and what time they are, but there are some classes that you do need to take.
And does every school have their own syllabuses or curriculum?
So it depends on the
Or
school.
is the school curricula standardized
It's-
throughout the state or the country?
Okay, so the material you learn in your school, in your specific classes, that is dictated, managed by the school district. They have a big meeting every year with all the teachers, and sometimes parents show up, and they decide what you need to learn in this class. And
I mean, the curriculum changes from year to year.
it can sometimes. It happens with our health class a lot. Because my state is one of the only states that requires you to take a health class. And every year, parents show up to the health class meeting and they say, no, you cannot teach my children about sex because I don't want them to know. So that's always, so the curriculum changes every single year in health. Sometimes we have more information, sometimes we have less. Right?
That's strange.
It's very strange. And then, as far as standardized things go, in the US, we have a lot of standardized tests. And so what that means is it's tests that are either issued for the entire state or for the entire country. And every single student has to take these. And it's just to get averages for your class or for your race or for your gender. It's really strange and I don't like it because to study for these standardized tests, you have to take time out of class and study for these, and then once the standardized test is over, it's over. And it doesn't affect your grades in school at all. It means nothing for your school grade. So all it does is take time from class, which stresses out the student and can lower your grade if you're spending too much time studying for the test. And then we have one really big test, our senior year, which I know seniors, kids in 11th class here also have a really big test. And I think they're kind of similar as far as how much their importance is. Because in the US we have the SAT, which every kid normally takes, and your score on the SAT kind of tells you what colleges you can get into. If you score poorly on the SAT, you won't be able to get into a good college. If you score really well, colleges will pay you money to come to the school. So it's a really important test.
Scholastic aptitude test.
Yes, that's what it is, because I have no idea. And